Thank you for your comments today, Mr. Wood. I particularly appreciate your reference to people with disabilities. They too often get lost in these larger conversations, and I think we do have to make sure that as we shape policy, we remember them and their different needs as we go forward. I'd like to just go into another area that we haven't discussed too much. I noticed I was looking through some paperwork, and I came across the Montreal Protocols of 1987, which were one of the first agreements worldwide on how to reduce the hole in the ozone layer. But the point that was made by the author in that case was that it was economically beneficial for the business community to shift from one type of production and manufacturing and whatever to another one. So it was easy to achieve because the business community bought in. How do we get the business community to buy into the things that we're talking about doing right now? I haven't seen a big push from the business community. Some businesses recognize it and said, you're going in the right direction. But by and large, I haven't seen the business community buy in. Do you think they've bought into what we're doing? And if not, how do we encourage them to do more in New York?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I mean, I certainly, it's a large and diverse business community. So, I mean, I think we need to talk more about what exactly we're talking about. But I definitely appreciate that we need to work together to make sure that we're highlighting the huge economic development and job creation potential. I mean, I appreciated the testimony we had from a leader in the solar industry earlier. And again, I think in all sectors, we need to lift up the way in which innovation and leadership in our state can be funded through the scale of investments we're talking about. You know, again, we haven't talked a lot about waste, but there are incredibly innovative small businesses in New York City, for example, working on developing zero emissions ways of collecting waste and organic waste and processing it locally. And those are the kinds of things we need to be figuring out how to scale up, along with the large scale investments we're talking about in our energy grid. And again, I think that's why we want to talk about different buckets of funding with this scale of investment. A community-led bucket that's really tapping into the innovation we see in our business communities. And then, you know, another bucket, it's for the big, large-scale infrastructure projects we're going to need to tackle the energy grid and transportation statewide. And thank you, by the way, for your dedication to disability justice. And I mean, that's another one of these transportation areas that we would really like to work on with you. We haven't even talked about other aspects of the transit system, but this is statewide. Paratransit is a workaround we have in the areas where we have mass transit that's inaccessible. And it's an area where, again, we're relying on a large fleet of sort of outdated diesel vehicles, similar to school buses. And there's you know, both workers and people with disabilities are the most subject to the pollution from those kinds of vehicle fleets. So we would view that as another area where there's potential for electrification and, of course, for making mass transit more accessible and more equitable throughout the state.
Thank you.